Philly F.A.M.E. Philly F.A.M.E.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ken Rock. You're now tuning in to Philly F.A.M.E. TV. I'm out here with my two youngest sons, Bein and Cayenne. They right here. We out here, you know what I mean, chilling, eating, enjoying our time together. Been, you know, I was locked up the last 15 years. He just turned 15 today. He almost about to turn 16 soon, so that's how we doing it out here.
Right.
50s. They think a joke to him right now.
Oh, they bidding on the side right there. They bidding on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, we fresh. You know, you fresh home 3 weeks now.
Yeah,
Just came home 3 weeks ago. Doing 15 years.
Yeah.
Originally sentenced to 20.
Yeah.
But you got out a couple years early for good behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, we did an interview while you was locked up.
Yeah.
We basically gave people the whole rundown from before, back in Diamond District days, all the way to how you ended up in the situation where you was locked up. Now, just to recap a little bit for the people, you know, from Strawberry Mansion section. I mean, you got locked up at 24.
Yeah.
So speak a little bit, just recap a little bit that whole run from the time you was rapping, getting locked up, and now, you know, being home, the transition coming home.
I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna start off right now because he think anything a joke, right? I'm gonna start off right now because he's 15. You feel me? Both of y'all 15. When I was 15, I lost my brother. My brother got killed when I was 15 years old. He was 19 years old. So at the age of 15 years old, I felt like there were certain things that I had to do to become who it was that I thought I was supposed to become. Because losing your brother and all that at a young age, it means something, right? So at the time, I started hanging around with my homies. We started doing things. First we started popping pills and all that. And then I got locked up. I went to Glen Mills. When I was in Glen Mills, that's when Maj was born. My oldest son, he's 20, he in college right now. So I came home from Glen Mills, you know, did what I was doing, whatever. Then I got locked back up. I think I got locked up when I was 20 years old for possession with a tent. Boom, I did like 13 months in the county. That was in 2001 or 2. Then I came home, situation that happened, I got shot up. I got locked back up. Then I came home, 8 months later, I caught this case right here. Everything ain't chill. I caught this case right here. When I caught this case right here, I was 24 years old with 61 kilograms of cocaine or whatever. They found what they found in the house. I had an OID in the house with my address on it, fingerprints on the scale, fingerprints on the heat sealer, and fingerprints on like a glass or something. Boom, the warrant came out or whatever. I got locked up. Me and my co-defendants, Toya BH, we all went to trial. They beat the conspiracy. BH got found guilty for 3 kilos. He got 9 years. Toya beat the conspiracy. She got found guilty for managing a house of drug trafficking. She got 36 months. I got found guilty for everything in the house besides the guns. So I had conspiracy, what they call conspiracy to the unknown. That's really like something that the feds got in play for whenever they want to book you for something. They really not supposed to book you for. Lo and behold or whatever, I got the mandatory minimum of 20 years, but that's what brings me back to the prior case I had. I got an extra 10 years for the case that I had caught when I was 20 years old. I had 23 months for it when I was 20, and then I wound up doing an extra 10 for it on this case right here. That's called an 851 for everybody in the feds. Anytime you go to the feds, and you got a prior drug conviction, they could double your mandatory minimum. So I jumped from 10 to 20, and then I got 10 years supervised release on the bottom of that. So that's basically how I got the 20 years.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So speak on, you know, Benzo, you 3 weeks out.
Yeah.
What was your last day like when you was in there knowing that you was about to come home? What was that like?
I wonder how it was for y'all. How it was for y'all. Yeah. My last day in prison. Did you know I was coming home?
Yeah, I was happy.
You was happy? You say it with your chest. You can say you could be happy, bro.
Happy.
How about you?
I was glad. I still had to go to school.
For me, it was like a lot of the things. Like a lot of times, I felt like something was going to happen wrong. Like in the jail, they had a joint like on COVID. If anybody caught corona, your date was getting pushed back, even they had to be you. So a lot of dudes was catching the coronavirus inside the jail. I was in Mississippi, so I was a little fearful, like something going to happen. You know what I mean? That was my whole joint. something gonna happen, push my date back. And that's what I was kind of fearful, because I know my kids was waiting on me to come home or whatever. But it was anxiety. I ain't sleep for days. You know what I mean? I really ain't even sleep since I've been home. I probably slept about a real good night, like 3 good nights since I've been home. But it's different. You know what I mean? The transition or whatever, coming from prison to here, it's just completely different. I gotta learn my kids over. They gotta learn me over, or not even over. They gotta learn me from the first time ever. You feel what I'm saying? So I would say that was my last day.
Right. So first day out,
Yeah.
you know, I seen you threw it up on the gram, you got on the plane and all that.
Yeah.
What was that like, the feeling? I mean, just after being locked up for so long, now you get to be, well, you halfway out because you're in the halfway house, right?
Yeah.
So what was that like, just to be out of that joint after all that time?
Alright. When I went down there, my whole plan, see, I got books of plans, right? So now it's about executing plans, right? So my plan, I had somebody meet me down there with a phone and everything, so I could have it for my ride home. So when I went down there, the first thing that blew my mind that I was home was when I went through TSA at the airport. I was in Jackson, Mississippi, at Megas Avenue Airport. So when I went through the airport, she told me she was going. I went through the joint that spin. So she was like, I had my joint that went off or something. So she was like, we need to check you again. So I had let her know that I had a bullet in my shoulder. And the lady was like, no baby, it's not no metal detector. So that when she did that right there, that's what let me know that, damn, I'm out of jail. For the last 15 years, I went through a metal detector every single day. And almost every time I went through it, I had to get flagged because I got bullet fragment in my left shoulder. So that was the time when I was like, damn, yo, you really not home, you really not booked no more, you really out of jail. So that was the first moment. And then when I got on the plane, I didn't know how to set the Wi-Fi and none of that up. You know what I mean? I was like, everything I needed to do, I needed help to do. So that was like, it was a vulnerable situation. Like, damn, I'm really like behind out here. Like, I couldn't even lift the tray up. So that was like, it was like a surreal moment for me. Going through the airport, didn't know how to use the bathroom, didn't know how to wash my hands. Went in the joint, they got I think it said this bathroom for anybody, or unisex bathroom or something like that. Them joints wasn't out when I was home, so it was just like it was just confusing. It's still a little confusing to this day, whatever.
Right. So now, how long you gotta do in the halfway house before you could be fully
I'll be out the halfway house in June.
In June, so you still got like 3 more months left.
Yeah. I really originally had a year, but the first step had kicked in, so I'll be out. My journey be over in June. I still got 10 years supervised release. You know what I mean? Which is basically another word for parole or probation. That's what the feds call a supervised release. So I still got to deal with that for the next decade. So basically I got 20 years plus 10. So, it's challenging at the same token, but it's just, you got to get into the mix of it. It's overwhelming. People think this or think that, so you just got to be honest with yourself. Me personally, I got to be honest with myself, know who I am, make sure my kids know who I am, make sure that I'm being transparent with everybody else so they can know who I am. Because the papers, the newspapers and everything else, they could blow you up to be this, and then you can start believing that you that, and you living a fraudulent lifestyle. Next thing you know, you're not putting boots on the ground and being who it is that you know you are. So that's my main thing right now, being who I am. You know what I mean? And letting everybody know who I am instead of getting caught up in the facade of what people may think I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole choice with that.
Right. So I caught you in your element, like you said, you out with your sons, y'all getting food at Nifty 50s and all that.
Yeah.
So this is more like a documentary style as opposed to just an interview. It's documenting what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So, being as though you got your sons here, they're young boys, teenage age, 15 years old. And I asked you this when we did the interview like 3 years ago now. I mean, at the time, I want you to, reiterate it, or you can even update it. What's your message to the young boys or the kids in the street, or kids thinking about getting in the street, or even older people that's out in the streets? Being as though you've been in and out of jail since you was a young boy, and then you did that long stretch in prison with a bunch of people coming in and out since you've been there. Yeah. And now you home, transitioning, trying to get used to life, what life is like these days.
Yeah.
What would you say to somebody that's thinking about taking that road that Ken Rock took?
Alright, when I think about that, I think about everybody who said things to me growing up. Like, people told me not to hustle, people told me not to do this, people told me not to do that, but I still did what I wanted to do. Sometimes I feel like you're going to go through whatever your hand called for you to do. Now, what I can say is this though. Every decision that moves I was making on the streets was decisions that was made for me. Basically, when I say that, I mean that a lot of times you think you're supposed to do something. Like you think you're supposed to wear this because everybody else wear it. You're supposed to walk like this because everybody else walk like this. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are just the blind leading the blind, and you're not gonna grow until you're in a situation where you're forced to grow. So I say that to say that, like when I was first went to prison or whatever, when I was young, I used to be the young boy. I used to be the one on the top bunk with older dudes down there, like dudes that had names, you know what I mean? Dudes that's Salone, Sput. These are the dudes who I came in and was already at the jail. Marche from 60th and Market, Malik from Brooklyn Street. These dudes had 35-year sentences, 27-year sentences, and I was the young one. And then as time went on, I started being the older one. And when I started being the older one, I started looking at the top bunk. The dudes at the top bunk was the dudes who mom was on drugs or dad was locked up. So you start to see the cycle taking place. So now that I left, it's dudes just coming in right now. It's dudes going in there right now, 19 years old with 27 years to do. You know what I mean? So I can't tell you what not to do, what to do. But all I can tell you is I know that you can do more because I know that I could have done more. I know that they could do more, but they got to believe that they can do more. So that's my role as a father. That's the role that I want to play with them, is to let them know, like, listen, no, we could take this route, we could do this, that, and the third. So that's the role that I'm trying to take out here, is not to tell you what to do, but to hopefully lead the ways to say, look, we can do this to make this happen, because at the end of the day, it is what it is on that side. And somebody got to fill those bunks up.
Right.
That's just the reality.
And do you got a particular story or a situation that happened and all the times you've been there that you could share to wake some people up, or just let them know the reality of being locked up? Because you was in the feds and the county and the juvenile, so you done seen all different sides of it. So it's something specific that happened that stick with you that you might can share, or something off top that you might can think about.
I'm gonna think about this joint funny as ever though. It's my lowest point in prison. It's like this one made me know, like, man, this joint for the birds. I was at McKean. It was cold, freezing, and the pipes had bust in the neighborhood or whatever. So the pipes had bust. So dudes was, we couldn't use the water in this joint for like, I'm gonna say a week. So the whole block smelled like shit, like the whole block. Dudes was shitting in bags and all that. So I'm like telling myself, like, no, I ain't using the bathroom in no bag. I ain't gonna take a smash in no bag. So one day they had the porta potties on the compound. The compound like the size of a parking lot. So they had the porta potties out there. So I'm like, man, I gotta use the bathroom. So I woke up early in the morning to use the porta potty. I had the spray bottle. So when I sprayed this porta potty, all the joints just froze up. So I'm like, man, fuck, I gotta use the bathroom. So I tried to use the bathroom, couldn't use the bathroom. When I got up, they had a mirror in their joint. That was the day I was like, man, this shit is like for the birds. Like, you can't even use the bathroom. It sounds stupid, but it take a person to go through that with the point where you be like, you can't even use the bathroom. You feel what I'm saying? You can't do nothing to let these people tell you what to do. And it's just like, it's just terrible, you know what I'm saying? Then just my sons, watching my sons grow up through pictures. When I got locked up, he wasn't even born yet. You know what I mean? He turned 15 today. You know, this is the first time I ever been around any of them on the day when they got older. You know what I'm saying? So even though it seemed like something small, we just sitting here eating fries, drinking a milkshake. These days that he been thinking about his whole life. These days that I've been thinking about his whole life. So it's just, you know what I mean? You won't understand it until you go through it. And hopefully you just don't have to go through it. You know what I mean? So it's just too many memories to just pinpoint one. But that was like the lowest point in my whole jaw. Like, that shit was just nutty. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, it is a crazy situation. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah. So now you back home. Like you say, you got everything written in books as far as like your plans and stuff like that. So, you know what I mean? Unveil like at least a little something if you want to, like what you plan on doing while you home, or something that you try to do while you out here.
Right now, me, my son, he helping me, and my man Lot helping me too. Putting together this YouTube joint. It's gonna be called Welcome Home Rap. It's gonna be basically about the week-to-week transition back into society, everything that you go through, that I'm going through now. And it's basically gonna be a tutorial, like if anybody got somebody that got folks coming home from prison, to be able to help them out, to be that support for them, because a lot of people don't really understand what's going on. I didn't understand what was going on. Now that I'm experiencing it, I do. So it's little things like having communication with people, little things like making a decision. It's hard to make a decision. Who just made a decision for me? Like my kids, when we go out to eat and I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat, they make the decision for me because it's just hard for me to make a decision because the jail been making decisions for me for 15 years. I mean, when I'm going to go to the bathroom, when I'm going to watch on TV, am I going to watch TV? Can I go to the rec yard? What time I'm going to the rec yard? These are things that you may not think about on a constant basis that I got to think about because I'm not used to making these decisions. So these are things that I'm doing with that YouTube series, Welcome Home Rock. I'm putting together a curriculum for the summer when I'm off of house arrest and everything. I plan on partnering with certain organizations, and I mean right now it's definitely I Am a Role Model, hopefully No More, different non-profit organizations that I can partner with Emir and put together some type of coaching program for kids to go through or whatever to display my skills because I am certified life coach through Institute Life Coach Training. So I'm doing my best to put together my plans, walk through my plans on a constant basis to bring it into reality.
Alright. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so the Instagram, did something happen to your other joint or you just made another joint?
No. My son's laughing because my Instagram page, first joint I got locked out of. Somebody had a fake page while I was locked up. It was life coach _ rock. It was asking people for bread and all that.
Oh yeah, people was doing that, try get cash app and all that.
Yeah, they was asking for bread. So anybody who know me know I never asked you for no paper. So if they ask you for paper, then you know it definitely wasn't me. And I was gonna ask you for some paper. You my man, like I'm definitely not gonna do it over through no DM. So when they got reported, they had ran me through red flags on my page.
Oh, so the fake page and your page ended up getting flagged.
Well, I'm getting flagged. But when remember the page was already there while I was locked up.
Right.
So when they ran me through the flags, I didn't have the information. Like I didn't have phone numbers, email accounts. I didn't know it. So I got locked out of that page. That's the life coach _ rock with the KR in it. That was my page. Right. But I got locked out of the joint. So then me and my man Ron Rasul, yard out, he helped me do the life coach .rock joint. Him in LA, they helped me do the life coach .rock joint. So when I did that joint, I don't know if I really don't know. I think somebody was like, we're hating on this situation. I really don't know. Like I don't know who it was. But they flagged the joint again. And they flagged the joint and they got frozen. So I couldn't ever get in the page. So I had to wait like a week or so. Then I contacted Instagram or whatever. So now I got the other page, the official page I got now is I Am _ Coach Rock.
Boy, plug that joint over. So this is the official page they can holler at you on.
Yes, I am _ Coach Rock, Coach ROC. That's me on the joint with the Phillies hat on the joint. That's my official page. So that's the page that I'm trying to make something, you know what I mean? Trying to make something happen with. We looking into like getting on other platforms as well, but for right now, the IG, the YouTube, those are the pages that I'm gonna operate off of. You feel what I'm saying?
Alright. And you got a name for the YouTube already? What's the
YouTube joint gonna be Welcome Home Rock.
Oh yeah,
it ain't
say
official yet. It ain't up yet because ain't nothing published yet.
Right.
But we're looking for the first week of April to come out with the YouTube joint.
Got you.
Yeah.
Alright, man, anything else you want to let the people know before we get up out of here? I know you got to go back soon, I mean, so anything else you want to tap on that when you get a chance to tap on?
I don't know, y'all ain't got nothing? You got nothing you want to say? Y'all want to laugh. These my young boys, right? I'm gonna say, he want to laugh and joke, right? But what I'm going to say is this. Chill out. Look, he flies. Look, these are my young boys, man. But if I'm gonna say anything, I'm gonna say, if you out there, understand what's going on. I ain't trying to tell you what to do. I ain't out here to tell you what to do. I'm just somebody who went through my situation. My hand called for what it called for. I went through it. It made me realer, it made me tougher in my own mind and in my own heart. Hopefully, it's gonna make me and my son's relationship stronger. My oldest son in school right now, Maj. He couldn't be here right now, he in college. And at the end of the day, this is what it's about. It's about family, it's about doing what's real, it's about doing what's right. And ain't nothing gonna be perfect with my situation. I try to express that with my kids. Like, I'm gonna need them to hold me accountable with being a father, because this is something that I'm trying to learn how to do. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help anybody as much as I can. And that'll be my message, man. Don't get caught up in the okey doke. Don't get fooled by the masses. That's it. That'll be everything I got to say.
Early. Alright, we signing out till next time, man. We'll probably circle back in a little while and update the people on your progress and what you got going on. And I mean, your YouTube channel will probably be up by then, and I mean, you can plug that joint again. I mean, right. So till next time, we signing out. I mean, Ken Rock, Coach Rock, Philly F.A.M.E TV. We out of here.
All right, man.